I thought the lesson was to stop caring. There was a point in my life, around middle school, early high school, where I was convinced that the best way to live my life was to just not care about anything, anyone, or anything in my life. I thought that the best way to keep myself from not having to deal with things that were going on at the time was to just stop caring. I had convinced myself that, if you don't care about anything at all, the world becomes better because they're not hurting your feelings, they're not thinking about you anymore. It's all about if I don't see it or if I don't let myself hear it, it's not true. And eventually becomes a point where what you believe is your tolerance for stuff around you is more of pushing it away than it is anything else. It all starts from that that breaking point that you have, where that final nail in the coffin is, that pushes you to be very terrible and nonchalant. And there's the point, there is the breaking point that makes you just go, I don't care anymore. Stop caring. It could be, social exhaustion. Maybe you're just tired of the people around you. It could be a breakup. It could be just work burnout. You're tired of school. You're tired of work. Tired of other things like that. Tired of your responsibilities around you. And it all starts at the breaking point where people think that it's some sort of like peace. Like you come to peace with yourself or whatever. I don't care anymore. I've figured out the key to my own happiness, to my own success, and genuinely believe that it starts with that, and this whole idea of if I don't care, it doesn't matter. Well, unfortunately, that's not how it works, and we mistake that feeling of I have it all under control, I don't care. It's more of that. It's not. It's more of a turning point where you're not actually protecting yourself anymore. You're holding yourself back in ways that you don't realize when you do that. Um, you kind of, I guess the best way to put it would be that you're losing opportunities that you would have had you stopped whole like had you stopped ignoring people and being like I don't care. There's a lot of ways where in certain aspects you end up holding yourself back instead of pushing yourself forward like you want. It also isolates you a lot. It would make sense that a lot of people that are watching this video and myself are isolated. I don't really go out and hang out with people. It's a multitude of reasons. It could be like they don't want to. I don't want to. It's too hard to schedule. People are doing things. People are getting jobs. They have other commitments. And so like for me personally, I don't really go outside and hang out with people. It's not really something I do. But there's a certain point where you cause your own isolation and force your own independence rather than you know doing stuff with other people. There's a point where you hold yourself back, and I feel like that a lot of this happens because people just have that I don't care anymore, I only need myself mentality. And I guess you could say it's true, but I feel like it's holding yourself back from your full potential where other you need other people around you if you want a chance at anything of any sort. And it's just it's a defense mechanism, the whole admitting that you don't care. It's just a way to protect yourself from how you feel. It's not actually what you mean. It's really not what you mean. It's just it's weird. It's honestly really odd when you think about it. Like once you actually sit there and think about it, you're like, okay, well, I don't care anymore. There are ways to fix the way that you feel. I've been working on it myself. I've started to realize that it wasn't that I didn't need to care at all. It's that I needed to not care about stuff that didn't affect me, or I didn't have to care for stuff that doesn't care for me back. Like if people are like mean and rude and evil to you, then you don't need them anymore. You can move on past them. You don't need them because they're just they're not there for the best version of you. They're not there. They're not willing to hold out. They're not willing to, or maybe they're the reason that you're not the best person. You don't need them around anymore. You can, I'd strongly suggest that you cut these people off that are holding you back and aren't the best fit for you, and Instead, finding your group of people, your collective or whatever that makes you feel the best and most comfortable. I feel like that's something that everybody needs, and that's something that not everyone gets gets the chance to have. It's really unfortunate that not everyone gets to have that, but at least find. And if you don't care for other people all that much, find something for yourself. That's You can find something for yourself that's more for you. It's more for you than it is for anybody else. But don't just be bad to the other people because you don't care anymore. Because at the end of the day, you know, you wanna be the best version of yourself, and the best version of yourself isn't to be like horrible, because that just makes you worse. So then at that point, you're no longer the best person of yourself, and it's time to like move on in certain ways. Another thing I could say is like you should probably channel the actual energy of not caring. I think you should channel that into something more useful. Like you put all that time, like all this like your social battery or whatever. You can just move that. At least I don't know. That's how it feels for me. I feel like I can move my needs or whatever. I can move it to something else and excel in that department. Like there's a lot of people out there that they could care less about the people around them, but they could be the smartest people on the planet, but they just don't care to talk to other people because it's not part of their life, not part of their system that they work around. And that's, I mean, you can say it's normal or not normal all you want, but that is how certain people operate, and that's just how that specific person operates. Another thing is that you can set boundaries for yourself. That's something that a lot of people do in relationships and all that. Setting boundaries for the people that you want to deal with in your mind for yourself is very beneficial as well. Because, I mean, at the end of the day, it's your life. If you don't want to talk to them, you don't really have to. And, that's basically everything I have to say. I understand this video is horrible quality. Poor. Absolutely awful. I didn't I didn't really plan to make this video until I thought about the idea. Um, I might cut all of this out. I haven't decided yet, but we'll see. Um, these next few weeks, I'm not going to be uploading very much. I'm gonna be decently busy, but maybe I'll schedule an upload for like a later time, but we'll see. But anyways, that's everything I gotta say. Take care. If you guys have any suggestions for topics, just send them my way.